Today I'm going to show you how to cut text inside of Motion. Now hopefully Sprint doesn't mind me taking inspiration from their ad, and with that being said, let's get started. I'm going to create a new project. First thing I always do is select the canvas and Shift C. For this video I want the background to be yellow, similar to the commercials. So I'm going to go into the project, go into the properties, change the background color to a yellow, and then when it comes time to render, this is actually still transparent because of this setting. So if we wanted to, we change it to solid. Now the way my settings are now, I could see everything even outside the canvas on the outside. So I'm going to change that since I don't need to see that right now. Next thing I'm going to do is rename my group. I'm just going to call it text. And I'm going to create a text element on here. And I'm going to start with the biggest word in my project called half. Format it. Now I like to start by going to the transform properties and then hitting the reset button so I know my text is perfectly centered. Then I'm going to go back into the text and scale it up. This one word is going to be the full width of our graphics that we have going here. So I'm going to scale it to about where I want it. Now we'll say 300. And the white and the yellow is hurting my eye, so I'm going to go ahead and format it real fast to black. The next thing I'm going to do is set some guides on the side of the text so that I can make sure everything stays aligned. Now I can't really see that color, so we're going to change that real quick. We're going to go to Properties, Preferences, inside the canvas, and change it to just a dark color. There. Now I'm going to start creating some more of the text elements. Then, since it should be perfectly centered, I can just scale or size up the text till it roughly fits. Some fonts are a little bit different, so it may overhang on the side. I'm going to duplicate this text element, drag it up just a little bit, change the text to the, and then set this to regular. And I think I went a little bit smaller. I think I'm going to change the size down to about 30. That looks good. There we go. Duplicate that element, drag it down. I'm going to change the wording on it to tutorial. Shift C. Next thing I need to do is create my lines. So I'm actually going to create a new group to keep it organized. I'm going to call this lines. Zoom in a little bit. Select our line. Holding down Shift so it doesn't go at an angle. Do it roughly to there and let it go. Now I'm going to change the color really quick to black. I'm going to go to the shape, style, and change the start cap and the end cap to square. That way it'll be flat. Now that everything's lined up, we can get rid of our guides. To do that, hit the Command key and the colon or semicolon. To keep things organized, I'm going to select the text that we're splitting in half, create a group right above it, and I'm going to call this bottom, then drag the text inside there, select the text, and I'm going to go to Object and make a clone layer. Then I'm going to create a new group. I'm going to call it Top, and I'm going to drag our clone layer into it. So now we have two text elements. One's just a clone of the other. And the reason why I make a clone layer of our original text is because if I go to change this later on, if I want to change the wording, it won't break our effect. It's important to select the group, and I'm going to create a mask. I'm going to roughly just create a shape like this, and I'm going to drag it up just a little bit, and then rotate it. That looks good. And since this layer is supposed to be the bottom, but yet we have the mask on the top part of the text, I'm going to select our mask and change it to subtract. So now what we have, if we disable our clone layer and group, you can see that we have just the bottom half of our text, which is exactly what we want. So what I'm going to do is actually open up bottom, Command C to copy our mask that's on this layer, select the top layer, and Command V. Now we only have the bottom of our text because it's set to the same exact settings. So on the top I'm going to select our mask and change it to add. So now you can kind of see that if you zoom in, the text already has kind of a divider or a split. Let's say I want my text to be split at the 1 second mark. What I will do is bring my playhead to about 1 second, select the mask for the first layer, and hit I for an endpoint, and then do the same thing for the mask on the bottom layer. So I'm going to go to the point when I can first see the split in the text, which is when our masks first come in, right there. So with the whole group for the bottom part of the text selected, I'm going to add a keyframe. I'm going to go forward 2 keyframes. Then I'm going to create a new keyframe for position. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we have a better view. And I'm going to drag the text over just a little bit and down a couple frames. So now what we have, boom, looks like our text is cut in half. So we can add to that effect if you want by going back to one of our keyframes, add a rotation keyframe, go back to the other keyframe. So now I have matching keyframes at the same time for position and rotation. So I'm going to go to the second keyframe and I'm going to add just like a -0.2. Shift Z, hit play. Looks like all our elements aren't really centered in our canvas. So I can select the group that has everything and I can just kind of eyeball it, but that looks about right. And that's it for splitting text in half. I hope this helps you out. If it does, you can leave a comment down below letting me know that it helped you, and I'll see you next week with a new video.